Hey guys, happy Christmas Eve. I'm not actually totally sure on when this video is going to go up, but it's currently the day before Christmas Eve, so happy Christmas Eve to you all. There isn't really any main sort of point to this video other than the fact of I wanted to come on and just have a little bit of a chat. I had this sort of like just moment of time where I was like, I really want to have a chat with you all, so I'm just gonna pick up the camera and talk. I don't know like what direction it's gonna go, but yeah, I just wanted to have a little chat and a little bit of a catch up and talk a little bit about sort of like the direction I want to take this channel and a little bit about sort of what's going on and my weight loss journey and all them kind of things, because over the last couple of months I've like barely filmed, barely picked up my camera, very rarely posted on my Instagram and things like that. And I guess I have been living in a bit of a sort of like spiral of shame and embarrassment, and you know, another year has gone by and I haven't really made much progress on the scale and just all these kind of self-deprecating thoughts, and it's just not been very good. But however, over the sort of last couple of weeks I've managed to somewhat proactively change how I've been feeling, and I think I've got a bit of a new direction for where I want to go in terms of weight loss and what I want to sort of like achieve. And one of the main realizations that I've sort of come to terms with is the fact that, you know, my weight loss journey isn't ever going to be just about sort of like monitoring my calories and working out. It's just not going to be about that. It's an overall sort of journey to wellness, and that is one of the reasons why I changed my channel name, my Instagram name, from Weight Loss Panda to the Wellness Panda, is that in order for me to get to the place where I want to get with like my body composition, with my weight, and that kind of part of my wellness journey, which is something I still really want. It's not that I've kind of backtracked and gone, actually I don't want to lose weight anymore. I absolutely do. It's still sort of like some goal and priority that I hold very sort of like dear and close, but it's just I've had the realization that in order to get to them goals there's a lot of healing and a lot of it's not necessarily just about sort of counting the calories and things like that. There's a lot of other things that I'm gonna have to do in order to get to that place, and I think it's more working sort of my cognitive pathways and just my whole approach to life in general. And I definitely am at a place now where I'm sick of beating myself up. I'm sick of like being like, oh, you need to lose weight, don't eat that, you know, you're a failure, you're not doing anything right, blah 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 blah. And just trying to get to a place where I'm a bit kinder to myself, where I'm more of a self-cheerleader at every step along this journey, because it's going to be a long time, you know. I've said this before, and it's taken me 33 years to get to the point I am today, with unhealthy habits, unhealthy sort of like coping strategies, overeating, emotional eating, eating disorders, blah 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 blah. It's going to take a long time for me to create new healthy habits and have them routinely ingrained in my everyday. So it's not going to be a quick fix. I'm definitely in here for the long haul, but yeah, I'm just trying to apply some kindness to myself during this time. And it's really difficult because obviously there is an element of shame. You know, 2 years ago, around this time 2 years ago, I said I want to lose weight, I want to lose like, you know, 5 stone, I want to do it in a year, I want to do blah 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 blah, and I'm not there yet. But it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get there. It doesn't mean that I've completely failed, because I'm still trying. It's still a priority. I haven't just completely gone, okay, I've not achieved it, so where's my Mackies and thank you very much. It's still sort of like a process, and every day I feel like I'm failing a little bit better. Like it's not like I think we need to get out of this narrative that not quite meeting your goals, specifically in a time frame set out, is failure. It's not, it's just learning. We're all just learning along this journey. And I think a lot more people do struggle like I'm struggling, or have a bit of a longer journey than others. And I think we can really get caught up in the comparison trap of looking at somebody else's success and being like, okay, they've done it, why the hell can't I do it? But you know, life in itself is it's like a marathon, you know. And if you went to London Marathon to cheer on and to inspire and stuff like that, you wouldn't sort of like go stand at the finish line and wait until somebody's crossed the line to cheer them and to be like, yeah, well done, go you. Whether you're right at the front, in the middle, or at the end, you're all there for the same cause. You're all there to cheer you along. And I think sometimes, you know, we're on a weight loss journey and we have one extra brownie and we're 500 calories over our goal, or we've not worked out that day, and we beat up on ourselves just horrendously. And you just wouldn't do that if it was somebody else. If it was that marathon runner, you wouldn't say to them, you know, see them fall down and sort of laugh at them and tell them they're a failure. You'd say, come on, get up, you can do it, you can do it, keep going, keep going. And you give that constant praise to external people, but we completely forget to praise ourselves and to congratulate ourselves and be kind. And I think along with sort of like a lot of things I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, I've been reading or audiobook listening to a lot of self-help books in terms of like mindfulness and all kinds of like podcasts like The Happy Place, things like that. And just, I feel like I'm building this sort of internal armor that's equipping me to be able to reach the goals like of weight loss and body composition and fitness that I do hold so dear. And it doesn't mean that they're not authentic, and it doesn't mean that I'm a fraud because I'm saying it, I'm not producing it. It just means that the journey that I'm on is definitely something that is going to take a lot of time. And I think healing my relationship with myself and having kindness towards myself and some form of appreciation for where I am at right now is going towards winning that battle and getting to goal and all these other things. So I think I found it difficult to film because I'm in kind of this transitional period, this like no man's land of this is the unknown right now. You know, I know that what I've done hasn't necessarily worked, and I'm not totally sure on what is gonna work. And I think the period that I'm at right now is, yeah, weight loss is really important, but happiness and peace of mind is paramount. That's the main thing, and I think that is going to achieve that. You know, I'm currently doing a workbook called the DBT Solution to Emotional Eating that is incredibly fascinating. I've definitely learned a lot so far, and I'm trying to sort of implement new morning routines and new daily practices to sort of learn a lot more about why I eat the way I do, because it's just not about it's not just about a calorie deficit. It's about, you know, why I've gained these unhelpful sort of habits around food. Why are they there? Why are they there? And I think trying to discover why they're there, or at least noticing that they're there, is something I need to do to sort of like unlock the next level. I kind of like seeing it as like I'm on this sort of like game, and level 1 is about discovery and acknowledgement, level 2 is about implementing new strategies, level 3, and just building it up like that. And I think you know, I'd definitely be lying if I said there weren't any sort of shameful embarrassment emotions that pop up when I reflect on the last 2 years, because I don't like to be that person that says they're going to do something and they don't achieve it. I am the kind of person that says I'm going to do this, set my mind to it, and I achieve it. I'm not it's really unnatural for me to say I want to do this and then I don't have the result. So that's something that's quite conflicting and challenging to deal with. But I guess the more I'm working on myself in terms of my mental health and my happiness and my daily habits, what am I doing today to sort of strengthen new, better cognitive pathways and new, better sort of relationships with myself, the more I'm doing that, the more I'm opening the door to heal any past bad habits that are there. So I guess in terms of weight loss, it's still a huge priority. So as we go into the next year, I definitely am going to still do weigh-ins and have a weigh-in day. And in terms of like counting calories and things like that, I do see the importance of that. I need to be informed. I need to know sort of what I'm consuming in order to be in a deficit, in order to lose weight. So I just need to sort of like figure out going forward which way I'm going to do that. And I don't really totally know. It's kind of hard for me to go to look back and be like, well, I've done, you know, my Fitness Pal and I've done NutriCheck and it's not worked. And I don't necessarily think it's the method. I don't necessarily think, you know, the house needs completely rewiring. I just think the lights you need to go and switch the lights on, you know. So I think there's a few things that I've done over the last 2 years that should have worked, but I think along with my new sort of approach to wellness overall across the board, you know, mind, body, spirit, I think bringing them all together would probably be a much more proactive place for me to approach weight loss from. I guess before I was kind of neglecting this side and thinking it doesn't matter, you know, when I lose weight, when I get to goal, I'm going to be happy. When I can run 10k, I'm going to be happy. And happiness isn't a result of a sort of like weight or the way you look or anything like that. You know, happiness needs to be found now, and I can't hold my happiness on looking a certain way or a certain number on a scale. It's got to be found now. So that is a huge part of sort of where my wellness journey is going. I'm actually doing a mindfulness course in January, which I'm very excited for. I'm finding a lot of positivity and just being generally overall happier doing something every day to learn a little bit more about how the mind works, or listening to an inspiring podcast, or reading a really good book, you know. So that's something that I'm going to take forward, and just trying to, I've learned so many tools and coping techniques over the last couple of weeks that I keep trying to implement each day, and I think I just want to get to a place where it's more routine, and you know, making these healthy habits stick. I think probably the main contributor as to why I haven't succeeded in terms of weight loss this year is because I haven't had a committed enough routine. I've kind of been committed enough in the sense of I really, really want this, but in terms of structure and in terms of like carrying it through for prolonged periods of time, that's not worked. You know, had I any sort of method that I've done over the last 2 years, had I have done that consistently for a long enough period of time, it would have worked. It would have absolutely worked. The problem isn't about what I've been doing necessarily, it's about the sort of like length of time I've been doing it. And there's a reason why it gets to a certain amount of time and then I backtrack, and it's that backtracking bit that I'm currently trying to process and work through and try and figure it out. Because I think with most people, let me know in the comments if you sort of like relate to this at all, but I do think with most people our unhealthy habits that we've learned are subconscious and we don't necessarily realize them in the moment, and we sort of look back and kind of go, oh well, I've been trying really hard. I don't get why I've not lost weight. I don't get why it's not working. Why does it not work for me? It is such like a subconscious thing, I think that's what makes it so difficult as well, is that a lot of the time we don't realise what we're doing. So yeah, the main part of why I'm doing the DBT and other sort of like techniques is to try and that little bit, that little process in the sort of like in my cognitive pathways that kind of trip me up, and it doesn't matter whether it's a huge life event or whether it's, you know, something quite minimal. It's not like there's a pattern to why I've fallen off the bandwagon. It's just that I have, and there's no external reasons. Like, I'm not projecting, it's nobody's fault. It's definitely an internal thing, and it's definitely something that is coming from me. So I'm trying to figure that out without judgment. I'm trying to go through sort of myself and think about it and look back and reflect, and I definitely find the DBT workbook very, very helpful for that, because it's prompting questions and prompting scenarios that I wouldn't have thought about unless prompted. So that's been really helpful. I think in the new year, funds permitting, I would love to sort of like look into doing some one-to-one therapy, looking into sort of psychology and things like that, and just working towards having sort of a happy relationship with myself, and obviously losing weight. Like that's something, and I'd be totally lying and totally BSing you all if I said, you know, it's not about the way I look, it's totally about health. And because it is a lot about how I look, and it's quite a conflicting thing at the moment, because I'm doing so much work on being proactive and having a good outlook and a good mindset, that when I look in the mirror, I don't necessarily hate what I see. I'm not looking thinking, oh god, you know, that roll's got a bit bigger, or, you know, those pants are a bit tighter, or anything like that, because I think the work that I'm putting in to sort of heal that self-deprecating voice in my head and be more kinder to myself is really coming through at the moment. But I am still unhappy with my weight, and I am still unhappy with my fitness level, and I do want to be lighter and fitter and healthier overall, and I do want to break free from the sort of patterns and behaviours, unhealthy behaviours that I have around food. So the channel direction, I'm still going to keep my channel, and I still want to make videos, because I do get so much from it, like so much from it, and I do really want to document this journey, and I will be doing weigh-ins and sort of talking about sort of my weight and things. But I definitely think I'd like to take it in a bit more of a direction of overall wellness and about mental health as well, and how mental health is impacted by sort of weight issues, and how I think we need a community of women who are feeling the same, because it can be such a lonely sort of headspace to be in, is, you know, really wanting to lose weight, and really wanting to be healthy, and wanting to break, you know, a binge cycle or an eating disorder cycle, or, you know, that kind of thing, and just feeling like you're alone with it. And I'm here to tell you that that is so further from the truth. There's so many others that struggle, and it doesn't mean that you're weak, it doesn't mean that you have no willpower, it doesn't mean that you're not capable. It just means that we've got this, you know, this bumpy road to navigate, but we can do it, we can get there. We just have to work through it with kindness, have a little bit of compassion towards ourselves, and not, you know, not beat ourselves up when we step on the scale and we've gained 4 pounds. It's not about, like, you know, oh, I can't eat anything today, or I must deprive myself and I'm a failure, or anything like that. It's just learning. It's literally just learning. And especially over these next couple of weeks, we're going into Christmas is 2 days away, and, you know, there's going to be lots of food around, lots of drinks, lots of everything around. please don't feel like you can't, you know, enjoy your Christmas. You know, have a lovely dinner, have some lovely treats. Try and do it in moderation if you can. Something to remember as well is that if you love food, you love food. You're never going to get away from that. And the more you deprive yourself of the things you like, the more you're going to want to have it, and the more you're going to want to have it in excess. So there's nothing wrong with having a lovely Christmas dinner. Have an extra Yorkshire pudding, you know, but don't think, oh, I've blown it now, so I might as well go absolutely wild. And yeah, I'll have a full chocolate log to myself, 7 mince pies, I'll have full tin of celebrations, and you know, just try and do it in moderation, but do not deprive yourself. No way. Life is far too short. You deserve it. Have a really lovely Christmas, whatever that means for you. Whether you want to get up on Christmas Day and go for a 10k run, whether you want to get up on Christmas Day and have, you know, a couple of croissants and a Bucks Fizz, you know, just do it. And we've got all the time in the world to dedicate to sort of like weight loss and things like that. So don't put too much pressure on yourself over the next couple of days. I don't know when I am going to be sort of coming back regularly. I'm hoping, I mean, it's very cliche, isn't it, to be like, okay, January the 1st, new change and things like that, because I am trying to implement changes every day. It's not like I'm waiting for Christmas to be over. I am trying to find that balance of not depriving myself and still having things that I enjoy. But I think I'm kind of, where my head's at right now is I am putting things in place so that I can come back in January and have a really good structure and some things in place to work towards sort of like my weight loss and my mental health, like making myself feel more at peace. And yeah, but I just really wanted to come on and have a little chat and sort of like discuss the direction of my channel and just catch up a little bit. So I'd really love to hear how you are getting on in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling. How are you feeling about Christmas? Are you overwhelmed? Are you excited? Let me know. And yeah, I guess between now and January, I'm going to get my head down into some really good books, put a few things in order. One thing that I'm doing, me and Laura, if I'd mentioned Laura, I'll link her channel below if I remember. She's also on a weight loss journey, a health journey, fantastic channel. But me and Laura were chatting, and Laura is going to make a vision board. Is it vision board? Where you basically just make an inspiring board. I'm definitely doing that. I'm getting the craft paper out, the craft scissors out, you know, glue. Gonna make a wonderful vision board for 2023. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in January, but I'm wishing you all a wonderful Christmas. And yeah, don't stress it. Have a good time. And I love you all, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.